He
Oh, no.
flops around like a noodle. Alright.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Hello, friends, and welcome back from an unintentional break, but I accidentally deleted a lot of footage for this video, and I was sad and unmotivated about it. So, yeah, today I am talking about my nose, because it is a different nose than it was 3 weeks ago. I vlogged some of the experience, and those clips will be added in here, but I also just want to talk about some background stuff about it, as well as answer a lot of questions that you guys had. The first question that you may have immediately looking at me is, why are you wearing glasses? Isn't that a big no-no? If you are like me and you're a little pussy who doesn't want to touch your eyeballs, so you can't wear contacts, but you also can't live without your glasses, and you want to get a nose job, here's my hack for that. I got these super light glasses specifically for this. The nurse who took my cast off told me they wouldn't be too big of a deal to wear them, and even at that, I do try and wear them in moderation. I will get it. My sister has nicknamed this my nose couch. This is literally a piece of the same gauze that I used for like the drip pads under my nose after surgery. It just goes here to stop the glasses from indenting my nose at all. And this is how I walk around my house most of the time. I'm gonna get into some questions. Do you feel more confident? Because that's the only important thing. Yes. 100% yes, I do. I'm so used to being constantly aware of my nose that it's almost like I have to remind myself not to be, or like I remember that I don't have to be insecure about it, and then it's just like this weird, like surreal relief, and I'm like, what? So yeah, 100%, I feel so much better about it. I'm self-conscious about my nose profile too. How did you balance self-love and feeling fake after? I found this really interesting because I don't feel fake after. That's not how I think about it. And I've been super open about it online, and I have no interest in ever like pretending otherwise. I've been joking about it constantly. I know that a lot of people do have their hang-ups about plastic surgery, like it makes you fake or it makes you a vain person or something like that, or there's shame in it for a lot of people because you're admitting that you're insecure. It means admitting that you care about the way you look enough to go to such extreme lengths as surgery. In some social circles, I know it's super acceptable, and it's not looked at like that, but I don't know, for me growing up in the sort of girls that I've always been friends with, there's very much a pressure to not care about how you look, to be the smart girl. So I guess I've lost my not like other girls card once and for all here. That's fine with me though. Like, at the end of the day, I knew that changing my nose would make me feel better, and that outweighed putting up any sort of I'm not like other girls, I'm too good to care about my appearance, like, facade. Was it free because you're Canadian? No, it was not, because it was not medical surgery. It was purely cosmetic, so I had to pay the money for it. A lot of people get like a bump on their nose fixed at the same time as they're getting breathing problems corrected, stuff like that. I assume that would probably be covered in Canada. I don't know, but mine was not because it was purely a cosmetic surgery. I never had breathing problems or anything like that. I just didn't like my nose. Not related. Opinion on frogs and hats. Do you realize who you're asking that? I can even put a different hat on him. Oh my god. Did the anesthesia have any weird effects? Actually, no. I've never really had much of a problem with general anesthesia. I didn't feel that bad, and then within probably an hour of like initially waking up, I was like sitting up in bed feeling totally like fine, just like taking selfies of the initial cast, sending them to my friends' group chat and stuff, just waiting for my parents to come in. Did you record pulling the nose slug things? I know exactly what you mean here. A lot of nose job vlogs, people will record the initial reveal, the taking of their cast off. I actually didn't do that. I also didn't have nose packing, which comes out at the same time the cast comes off, and it looks like a weird slug coming out of your nose, but my surgeon doesn't do nose packing. I did not have the nose slugs. I just had my cast off, and it wasn't particularly eventful. Did you question if you should do it or not a lot? Yeah, I went back and forth about it. Like, I'd feel okay about my nose for a couple months, and then I would see a really bad picture of my side profile, and I would hate it for months, and it was there was ups and downs about it. I wasn't like constantly like feeling like my nose was like the most atrociously ugly thing in the world, but I went through phases like that, and I went through phases where I was like, it's kind of okay. This constant, like, at the end, I don't want to say, like, turmoil sounds so dramatic. Like, I can't come up with a word here that's not, like, overly dramatic, because at the end of the day, it's a nose. Like, it wears you down over time. If anything, my best argument to myself for doing it was that I'm never going to be happy with it. I'm always going to have those down phases again, and my moments where I'm feeling okay about it, I'm always just going to be feeling like, it's ugly, but I guess I can live with it, you know? That being said, I don't think there's a such thing as, like, an objectively ugly nose. If you have a nose like my old one and you love it, that's phenomenal, and I'm jealous of your ability to love it, but I never would, and I knew that because of, like, the so many years of, like, always coming back to hating it. How did you choose your surgeon? Okay, this is a question that I was going to address regardless of me adding a Q&A part to this video because I deleted all my footage. I decided on Dr. Rival in a couple of ways. First of all, he's one of the first surgeons that comes up consistently when you search for, like, best plastic surgeons in Toronto, or, like, best rhinoplasty surgeons in Toronto specifically. He specializes in rhinoplasties. That's what he does all the time. Great reputation in Toronto, specializes in rhinoplasty. I looked at his Instagram, which is all, like, before and after pictures. He takes pictures immediately after surgery before any of the swelling happens so that you can get a pretty good idea of what your final result is going to look like once all the swelling has gone down, which is really fantastic. So I looked at all these before and after pictures, and I really liked a lot of the after pictures, specifically in pictures where the before picture looked a lot like my old nose did. I liked the after product of his work on noses that looked a lot like mine. So I felt pretty reassured that he would do something that I liked based on that. Scheduled a consultation, and quite frankly, he passed the vibe check, my dudes. I can tell you from experience that having an asshole doctor absolutely skyrockets your anxiety about surgery, or any sort of medical situations. He was a really nice dude. He did not spark any anxiety whatsoever in me. He seemed really trustworthy. Obviously, I felt like personal bros with him. I can't comment on his quality as a trustworthy person, truly, but, like, he, as a patient and him as a doctor, he seemed like a really kind, trustworthy person, and that mattered a lot to me because I have had asshole doctors, and no, just straight up no. How was your swelling? I had mine with Dr. R. I assume you mean Dr. Rival, as well. Not a fan of it after 4 months yet. That is rough, my dude. Just checking my calendar. I will be 3 weeks post-op, 2 days from when I am filming this. So let's just say I'm 3 weeks post-op and I already love it. I would be happy if it just looked like this. It's going to get smaller than this, but I'm totally happy with it. I still feel like it looks way better than my previous nose at 3 weeks. They took my cast off and they gave me the mirror to look at it, and they were, like, going through that whole, like, it's really swollen right now, this is not what it's gonna look like kind of disclaimer, and I was just like, bro, like, still looks better than my old nose. What was your biggest fear going into the operation? I didn't really have any, like, rational fears that I can explain. I just have a lot of irrational anxieties, I guess, around surgery. I feel like I would have been less nervous going into it if I hadn't had serious medical experiences before. Like, when I thought about surgery, I thought about much scarier experiences than this. So there was just a lot of irrational anxiety wrapped up with surgery, and I was like, I just needed to separate those experiences from this experience. I do feel like I got myself to a really good place eventually, though. I was a little nervous for, like, the hours coming up to it, but then once it was, like, real and, like, about to happen, and, like, I was talking to Dr. Rival, and, like, I was talking to the anesthesiologist all the way in. Once I was, like, interacting with people and, like, talking about it rather than, like, brooding in my mind just there in the waiting room, like, I felt, like, totally comfortable about it. Like, up until the point where they put me under, I was chilling. When will you be able to redo your septum? Not anytime soon, because there's still a lot of stuff, like, healing, especially in, like, the septum area. Like, I can still, like, feel a little bit of, like, pulling and stuff in that area. Like, a year would definitely be safe. I'm hoping around, like, the 6-month mark I can get some nose piercings. I don't know. I have a follow-up appointment with Dr. Rival in a couple weeks, and I'm definitely going to ask what he thinks about that. Have you thought about other forms of cosmetic surgery? No, I have not. My nose was really the only thing that I hated enough to change with surgery. When I went to my first consultation, my doctor suggested doing something to my chin as well, because I don't have a very, like, prominent jawline or chin or anything. I said I wasn't interested in that, and he was like, oh, is it, like, I know some people have, like, stuff about putting, like, artificial implants in their body, they don't want to do that or something. And I was like, no, I never even thought about that before. So I was like, no, that's not really it. I'm just Like, the truth is really, like, I'm not out here trying to get, like, the perfect Instagram model face. Like, I don't give a shit. The only thing I hated enough to change was my nose. You know how smell affects taste? Could you taste the surgery, lol? I thought this was a very interesting question, because I feel like I would have wondered about this too before my surgery, but no, I did not have any weird tastes or weird smells in my nose. I know some people lose their taste for, like, a couple days after surgery, because their nose is completely blocked. That did not happen to me, probably because I didn't have any nose packing, like, completely blocking my nose. I was able to breathe, like, a little bit the entire time. Does it feel different? This is a very vague question, but the answer immediately to me is yes. It definitely, like, physically feels different. I don't have a bump anymore, and that's so weird. Like, I put on my old glasses and they feel like I'm drowning in them. Like, they were phenomenal for my old nose because they sit perfectly on the bump and they hid how big it was because they were also so big, but I put them on now and they just feel like so clunky and massive, and like they keep sliding down and like they don't fit me at all anymore. Whereas these glasses don't hide anything. A lot of people, like, when I talked about getting a nose job and like showed my after pictures, everyone was like, what? Like, I thought your nose already looked like that. And I completely understand that because that was the point. You know, you guys only saw me wearing my massive glasses that completely hid my nose from one specific camera angle. I felt like I was catfishing everyone into thinking that I had a nice nose. Like, you cannot tell me that these are the same nose. Like, it's very different. The difference is that I'm not, like, hiding my nose 24/7 anymore. My battery died, but we are back. I had to wait for it to charge because I'm unprepared and I didn't have any charged batteries. But, oh yeah, I got a question that said, your nose was perfect already, eye roll emoji. Once again, do not tell me that these are the same nose. If the argument is that you liked my previous nose, then, like, cool, valid. I'm not gonna tell you not to, but I didn't, and that's what matters. How long does it bleed for? So, blood does come out of your nose after you get your nose bones shaved. It doesn't really bleed for very long. I would say about 24 to 48 hours is probably the normal window for it to bleed. Why did they make you remove your plugs for the procedure? Yeah, I think I posted on Instagram one of my selfies that I took, like, immediately after, so I did not have my plugs in at that point. Piercings and surgery is a whole ass thing. They use, essentially, this was the case for my lung surgery as well, they use a cauterizing tool. There's a very minor risk of, like, electricity traveling through your body and you getting burned if you have any sort of, like, metal. That being said, it's very rare. Dr. Rival did not absolutely require me to take out all of my piercings, just the ones that were easy to remove, which is what I did. Which is also what I did for my lung surgeries, even though nobody was pleased about it. It's also just not super convenient to have this, like, bulky, like, metal thing on your body while they'll probably have to roll you over while you're unconscious and shit like that. Did you feed the excess nose to our Lord and Savior Thursday? Of course. Can your snoot still be booped? Yes. Do you sniff with it? I don't know if I mentioned this in any of my vlogs. I just noticed this because I'm doing this, but you can tell I had closed rhinoplasty instead of open because I don't have a scar along my septum. That is probably another one of the reasons why I had such an easy time of this surgery, because closed tends to be less invasive. So many people have explained this, and also you can just quickly Google it, but open rhinoplasty, they do a cut in your septum and essentially peel your nose back and do everything that way. Closed rhinoplasty, they do not peel your nose, they just make incisions inside of your nose and then go, like, up to shave the bone. That's my very limited non-medical understanding of it. Has anyone tried to discourage you from getting your nose done? Yeah, pretty much everyone. Well, I mean, like, my mom hasn't. My sister only tried, and then she was like, you're gonna leave me being the only sibling with a fucky looking nose, and I was like, yes, I am. My dad was very, very opposed to it for a long time, but he came around, and a lot of my friends as well were like, but we love your face the way it is, and we, you know, like, you get attached to the faces of the people you care about, and I completely understand why a lot of people close to me are kind of sad to see my nose go, and I appreciate that love that they have for me as a person and everything that makes me me so much, but at the same time, it was like, I still wanted to get a nose job, and I still did, and everyone has been, like, super, super supportive. My friends, my dad, everyone has been super great throughout the whole healing process. They tried to discourage me. They did not succeed, and they have been really supportive anyway. Hopefully I find a good way to integrate the vlog footage into this video. I have no idea how I'm going to edit this. I look like a child. I look like baby. I literally look like I'm 14. Please send help. But yeah, so I've been up since 4 just because that's the thing that my body felt like doing. And it's 5:30 now and I'm absolutely wired and we're not leaving for another hour. So that's nice. I guess I'll just sit here and anticipate my facial surgery. That sounds fun. That sounds like a great use of an hour. Hi. This is the first thing I'm filming in my cast, I believe. It's a little bit weird to talk. It feels almost like I'm pulling on something that's in my nose. There's some dark bruising right in here. A little bit of swelling is starting. But he took some photos right after it was done. So like before any of the swelling starts, before the cast goes on, you get a picture of pretty much what your final result's gonna look like. And I love it. I think it looks phenomenal. I would express more emotions if I was comfortable moving my face, but I'm not. This little drip pad is the most uncomfortable part right now, especially because it is damp. That lovely pink color you see is my blood soaking through. I'm not in too much discomfort at all. Ooh, I gotta put my plugs back in. Whoops. It feels like I have a migraine, but in my nose and nowhere else. It's just like a lot of like pressure in my nose. But it's okay. It's totally bearable. As soon as the anesthesia had completely worn off, I was feeling fun, fresh, and flirty. I don't know. I was sitting up in the little post-op area, just chilling. We are back, still on day 1. You can see my little fun drippy boy. My dad bought some more gauze. Shout out to him for buying me gauze. But yeah, the dripping it's kind of like having a cold where your nose keeps, also I'm chewing gum, I should spit that out, it's gonna be annoying. It's kind of like having a cold where your nose is like dripping a lot, except instead of snot, it's blood. That's fine, I could deal with that for like a day. It doesn't gross me out really or anything. Also, if you're wondering what this very like pristine white room I'm trapped in is, it was my not even childhood really bedroom. My parents moved into this house when I was like 15. It was my bedroom at one point. It doesn't really feel like that anymore. It's been completely redone since I lived here. What else? I was like super calm throughout the whole thing. I know that I said before that having had my lung surgeries didn't, if anything, made me more nervous about surgery, and made me feel even more insane for going through this again when I hate surgery so much. But honestly, like, I was pretty chill. Like, putting on the hospital gown and just like something about the smell and the feel of the hospital gown like really took me back to the lung tube days. And that wasn't like fun, but besides that, I didn't have too much surgery related anxiety. That was really nice. It also really surprised me a lot when my surgeon told me that he was going to do a closed rhinoplasty on me. He had told me, like, I think in my first consultation that I would have open rhinoplasty, which was cool. Like, that was what I assumed I'd get, because for some reason in my brain I associated open rhinoplasty with like more extensive changes and closed rhinoplasty with less extensive changes, and I was expecting extensive changes and I got them, and my nose looks like an entirely different nose. It literally looks like you stuck someone else's nose on my face when you look at those before and after photos. Honestly, should I name my new nose? Like, what do you do with a new nose? So yeah, I think the results look very drastic, but I also think they look great and I'm happy with them. So that's what's up. I'm feeling like I decided to sit down and film another little segment because I'm feeling so full of energy right now. Like, genuinely, I'm feeling great. Besides the weird damp wet blood cloth on my face, like, I feel weirdly good. I feel really weirdly good. On the other hand, though, I am starting to get, the bruising is slowly spreading. So you can see it a little bit there. I'm very curious to see how I wake up tomorrow morning. Because it might not be cute, but that's okay. It's only gonna last for like a day or 2. Welcome to day 2. Yesterday I was trying to stay apprehensive about, you know, how good I was feeling. I was like, you know what? I doing great today, but it could hit me like a truck tomorrow. I could very well feel horrible. I'm gonna talk too soon. I'm gonna jinx myself. But you know what? At this point, I feel like it's safe to say I am conquering this nose job. I still feel really good. Day 2. I'm drippy though. That's the one annoying thing. I'm like carrying Kleenex because the Ooh, I poked myself a little too hard there. The drip pad is really annoying and awkward, and I take it off every time I eat, and then I don't want to put it back on because it's an awkward feeling, but then I end up just doing this all day. How am I feeling? My nose definitely just feels like stuffed up, like I have a cold. It's just super crusty in there. It's about noon on the second day. That is about the extent of my day 2 bruising and swelling, I'm thinking. It's really not bad. I just took one regular Tylenol. The last painkiller I took before that was the one Tylenol 3 I took yesterday. I think that was the most pain I was in when we got out of the car after being like jostled around for an hour. I wasn't feeling great then, but I get clearly revived by the end of that day. To be completely transparent, I am finding this pretty easy. But despite that, I stick to my disclaimer of plastic surgery is a really extreme thing to do over a physical insecurity. And everyone's bodies reacts differently. So you should go watch other people's nose job vlogs. Watch the ones where both of their eyes get swelled shut for 2 days. Because that could very well happen. And it's important for you to see the difficult experiences as well as the easy ones. I love how I have like my good camera set up on a tripod here. And then I just lean my phone against the tripod instead. Because I am a professional YouTuber and I know what I'm doing. I want to show you. Sorry, the lighting is very artistic in here right now. I don't know, man. I never film at this house. I haven't figured out where the good lighting spots are. Just let it happen. So I'm going to go through a little bit of a nose job haul with you. Arnica. I'm taking Arnica tablets. I've thrown away the packaging from all of the other because they just come apart like this and they all say like what day they're for and everything. Afternoon, day 2. Well, look at that. That's right now. Something that is absolutely essential to your nose job experience is going to be Q-tips. And that is just for cleaning, like especially on the first day, like when I would change my drip pad, there would be a lot of like crusty blood around my nostrils here. I had like a little drip into my mouth when I woke up this morning, so that was really cute. Gauze and medical tape to use for when you're making a little, I think I have one here. That's when you're making a little thing and then you just tape it in place. Did I get anything on there? No, I didn't. Ha! Okay. Something that has been absolutely essential, and I knew going into this that it was going to be absolutely essential, is my witch hazel. It's something a lot of people say in their videos, like their skin gets oilier or their skin just feels super weird and bad. I would agree with that. My skin feels quite weird and bad, like more so than it always feels weird and bad because I have super oily acne prone skin. I bring like a tiny bottle and some like cotton pads in a bag like this around in my backpack all the time because if I'm at school for a couple hours, I'm gonna feel greasy in a couple hours. So catch me in the bathroom doing my witch hazel at school all the time. But yeah, I've been doing this like many times a day and my skin still like never really feels dry. Like it's really weird. Very kind of tender and swollen around here. Also right like here between my eyebrows. Eating is fine, although I do prefer squishy things just because like chewing through like really hard things, you're moving, it's all connected. Like I feel it kind of pulling my nose when I have to move my mouth a lot. Like even eating things like salad, like anything you have to crunch, I don't super recommend for the first couple days of healing. I'm only on the second day and I'm like, yes, I know everything. But it's day 3 and I'm looking pretty poofy. My face looks very distorted to me, even looking at it in my phone right now, because I've got swelling here and all around my eyes here. So I'm like, who is she? Sleeping, I've literally been sleeping here on this couch. I have to kind of sleep sitting up and it's not the most comfortable. It could be worse. Like I've been sleeping. I'm not like super overtired or napping all day or anything. I've barely been looking at myself in the mirror, but now I'm looking at my swollen face and I'm like, oof. It's not that bad compared to like other photos I've seen, and it doesn't like feel uncomfortable or anything. This is day 5. I didn't film anything yesterday. Things aren't super exciting. I literally sit on the couch and watch Netflix all day, but that's okay. Day 3 was definitely my worst swelling day. I was looking very weird and poofy. Today is day 5 and most of the swelling is gone except for like right in the corners of my eyes. My bruises are turning that like yellowish healing color, so that's good. I just look like I'm very, very tired. I've noticed a change in the tip of my nose since surgery. The first day that I got home, I noticed the tip of my nose was a lot noticeably smaller than it was before surgery on like the first day post-op, but that is where you get a lot of swelling. That's the place that takes like, I think like a total of a year for all of the swelling to go down in the tip of your nose. So now, like over the past couple of days, it's kind of come back to the size of like my original nose. Obviously it'll go down, but the tip of my nose it looks pretty familiar right now. Besides that, my hair, I've just been dry shampooing the shit out of my hair, and honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Obviously, I would prefer to have clean hair, but it's doing pretty alright considering. I have some friends coming over to visit today, and I considered covering these up and making myself look more human, but like, what's the point? Like, I'm probably still not gonna leave my house. Still doing good. I feel like completely normal in myself, except for having a stuffy nose and being extra greasy. I'm so excited to get the cast off. Oh my god. No, I can't think about it. I'm thinking about it too much. I'm thinking about showering. Oh my, I can't think too, I'm not gonna think too hard about it, or else I'm gonna start to like desperately want to shower if I think about it too hard. Again, my plans were very much disrupted by deleting a bunch of my footage, and I hope this still manages to turn out good. 2020, new year, new me, new nose. Hopefully good upload schedule. I don't do Q&As that often, but if you want to be able to submit questions, you should go and follow me over on Instagram. Sometimes I get questions from Tumblr. You can follow me on Tumblr if you are one of the unfortunate souls who still has Tumblr. I do answer my asks on there as well. Thank you so much for watching, friends, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Next week, hopefully. So much hope about my upload schedule.